Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show. All I'm saying, next time, break the evidence. All you do, you come here, corruption. Just here. Next time you come, break your stuff. I am not talking about that. I'm talking about you in 2024, December, saying there's corruption. Bring it.
Let me ask you this question. I would like to ask the AG to propose legislation for what we call small claims court. There are lots of poor people, for an example you just gave, that they have issues with others and sometimes with large firms, but the lawyer fee is greater than the fee you're claiming.
It is their right. The right that someone has. All of our rights exist in context.
What is the context of a second medical opinion?
Because you're disrespecting the process.
No.
Jesus, this is common sense, man.
Any situation which you seem to do, you're just dealing with Afro-Guyanese issues. If one, you can't bring and pull the leaders of the African community together, you're failing. And if two, you can't put forward a future, a blueprint, and a plan for African Guyanese, you're failing as well.
Good evening. Welcome to our CARICOM edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. We have a call-in program this evening. We decided that because of what is going on in Guyana, there's a lot and lots of interesting dimensions to the election campaign. We will have a call-in and you can put your questions to Leonard Craig. Craig has never hosted a call-in, but there's always a first time. As you know, we cannot do a Friday calling with Leonard because he's a practicing Seventh-day Adventist, and that the Friday after 6 will pose a problem for whatever, the Sabbath or whatever. He will explain that to you. But the number is 676-3681. That's a WhatsApp number. You can call it, and let's talk about anything political or anything under the sun. It should be a full hour and a half because of what is going on. So Leonard, you will watch at your phone to see when. So once again, good evening to this CARICOM call-in edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Let's call in and let's get your views on who's likely to lose, who's likely to win, what's likely to happen in the next 2 months before we reach September the 2nd. Late in the afternoon of September the 2nd or in the night, definitely we should know who has won the election. And if the public is not in receipt of that information as yet around 8 o'clock on September the 2nd, the political parties would have known because they would have tabulated after the close of poll on the 1st of September, 1 hour after, 1 day after, because of the tabulation, they would have known who has won the election, and they would know by their own mathematical calculation what are the seat allocation. So pick up your phone wherever you are and call 673-3681. 676-3681, and let's talk politics, or let's talk about anything in Guyana. We've missed the call in a couple of weeks, but better late than never. So let's hear what you have to say. 676-3681 is our WhatsApp number. And while we wait for your call, I'll ask Leonard what he has in his mind, but before he manifests what he has in his mind, I will tell you what I have on my mind. I'm a little bit, once the phone rings, we will cut and go to the phone because the calls are the priority. I have a problem with how the political future will play out for those who just cross the floor from one party to another. I think the question that comes up is, why would they have waited until June when an election is announced to cross the floor? Why not 2023? Why not 2024? There are people who have been alienated from their party since 2023, since 2024. To suddenly cross over, it puts those parties, it burdens those parties as to how they're going to share out their parliamentary seats. You had better keep it close to. Yes, you have a call.
Person gone.
The person on, you probably
Yeah, go. You go ahead.
You didn't see it ringing?
You go ahead.
Well, he's new to the program, so I think you have a call there.
Is WhatsApp.
You have to put it on speaker, right? And where's the volume?
Hi there. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. We just want to find out something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's free education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the university. But what would be the situation if somebody had a degree, right? But they didn't finish PF and they didn't collect the degree, but they finished the course and everything, but they didn't finish. So they're going to be forgiven, or they still have to pay?
They didn't finish the degree?
They finished the degree, but they didn't finish repaying.
I don't think the government's going to ask them to pay. I read somewhere where the government said they're going to reimburse people.
What I heard is that you have to be resident in Guyana to benefit from.
No, the person is a resident and in Guyana.
Yeah. Well, I think those loans are cancelled, stand cancelled as far as I understand it.
But it wasn't a loan. It was that
you were paying cash. And you happen not to have paid a part of it.
For the final year, she didn't pay.
She's all right.
I think that debt would be cancelled.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
But that's my understanding too.
Yeah, seek clarification though.
How should you go about getting the degree now?
I think I'd have to get the information and then come here on a subsequent program and mention it. But I think there is a place at UG itself or at Ministry of Finance where you go and carry in your information. I'll find out and we'll mention it on a subsequent program.
But don't let her worry. It seems 99% certain that outstanding payment will be cancelled. I am sure of that. I don't think the young lady should worry.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, but to get the information, just go up to UG and find out.
Okay, thanks.
Good. That was our first call introduction to the call-in. Leonard's correct introduction to the call-in program. So, 676-3681. We go up to 10 o'clock. Call in and let's talk about anything you want to put your questions to Leonard Craig. He is now a famous name in Guyana.
You were making a point. I wanted you to complete so I could give a quick response.
Okay. Yeah. The point I was making, when the phone rings, I'll have to cut myself. I was thinking that it puts the political parties that have received these new crossover people, it puts them in a difficult situation. For example, 3 persons left the AFC, gone over to the PNC, and in all likelihood the PNC will have to give them parliamentary seats, which means that 3 seats from the quintessential PNC have to be deducted.
Good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, guys. My question to Freddie. I've looked at at a program that was hosted by GoSpan 24/7 by Dr. Rose, Ask Rose.
Ask Rose.
And he had and he.
Hello?
Hey,
and,
you still there? Yeah.
Well, ask it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Could have asked him some very telling questions. And Nigel, obviously, 32 guy, who come up with the most stupid answers that you ever think. My question to my brother Freddie: how in the world I have heard you talk about Hill, and yes, he would have represented you and blah blah blah. It's not a disgrace for somebody of your caliber. You is somebody who I look up to, Freddie. Do you have any regrets that that Nigel has someone who would have supported you and who you would have considered a buddy or like? Because the guy, as far as I'm concerned, he's a total JSS. Another thing, I looked at the launching of Abdul what do you call it, political campaign. I think they had like about 250 people. And then I also looked at some videos with the Win Party, which coming from the Win Out Party, Win Party, if I can use that word. And I don't know. I would like to express sentiment that was expressed by Freddie the other night. If anybody voted choose what the guy named Asruddin Mohammed in front of Irfan, well, Freddie likes to say Orfan, but I say Irfan, needs to be forced to go into the madhouse. Thank you very much, guys. Good night.
All right, good night. Well, Freddie, you got a question to answer.
No, I'm going to pass. That takes a long time. Did I regret being a friend with Nigel? How can I have that? Those things call for a lot of historical analysis, and I'm going to pass that. So let's that will take up a lot of time. When you look back at your life, some of the people you were associated with in that particular moment, you didn't know who they were. You didn't know that particular, the dialectic of the moment was what was your overriding consideration. But as I said, that's going to take elaborate explanation. And by the time we go, you have a call there?
Yeah, we have another call. Good evening.
Hello, good night. Good night, Mr. Freddie.
Good night.
And good night to your friend. I don't know his name. Sorry.
Hey, good night, sir.
Mr. Okay, Leonard Craig. Leonard Craig.
Oh, good night, Mr. Leonard Craig. I have something to say. And I know PPP is keeping a rally at TP on Sunday, right?
Yeah, on the 13th. Yeah.
I think that will be history, because that will be the biggest rally ever. Will keep here. And to my opinion, I think PPP is taking Georgetown. They're going to win Georgetown and Linden and the stronghold of the PNC. Because what I'm seeing so far, according to PNC rally, they don't really have no kind of people there. Because if you're going to look at the drone on top, because the big space all in between, people just scatter. And you don't see anything in the PPP party because it was clustered up so close. And you see the amount of people. And Mohammed, Mohammed will take away a lot of some of the votes from Apno. It's a wicked Apno. And Apno will get less this wrongs. Believe me. But I don't know if Mohammed will ever make any seat. I don't know. I don't think so. But he might take away a couple hundreds of votes. I think so. That's all. And I want to say something. Some of these people up in Skellen that many of them that went at Mohammed meeting when I keep off Skellen here. I know all these people there because I'm from Skellen. And I can tell you, they're right to say when you associate with certain people only associate with certain people. And majority of these people are smokies and people who like dishonesty or deal with you in Skellen. I know half of them from one side. You know, when he went to the Skellen market and he used a word and he said that if I use taxpayers' money, give them back the people their own money, and he's using his own money. I want to know if he become the president, who money he's going to use to share all his money. And let me tell you something. He's trying to do exact what Nagamoto and Ramdachan do to the people in this country. He don't care about the people. I'm telling you, he don't care about the people. Mohammed don't care nothing about the people. Mohammed is here for other people, that's it. But Mohammed don't care about people. Mohammed right now is to get PPP out of there, and he care which part. He didn't care which part in when the election. But he just needs PPP out of there. If he is so curious about people, he should have seen if Finale do so much of things in this country. The PPP have done so many things in this country, and they can talk rubbish about them. So he don't care because the next party going there, we're going back just like 2015. So he don't care about the people because he can get a little money, he can live for it. So he don't really care. He come to fool the people, and some of these people are so foolish. And what I could notice, most of the Amerindian and the Africans, he gets in by his side. As you said, straight or whatsoever. I don't want to call him that way because not nice thing to say anything to anybody. But Indian people, you look at them, who's really supportive? Very few Indian people. Because the Indian, most of them, I can tell you 90% of them nonsense from Apnu. And I know this chap coming with a big trick to trick the Indian people. That is what he's trying to do.
All right.
So that's my contribution, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming through.
Yeah, thank you.
I wouldn't specifically segment people the way this gentleman did, but essentially, the essential argument that he is making is that the core support base of the PPP is not at this moment shifting. And a lot of the crowds that Mohammed gets, this is in my view, is Mohammed has risen to the level of a local celebrity somewhat. And when a celebrity turn up somewhere, you want to see, you want to see this person. And I think basically that's what's happening in terms of the crowd. I don't think it's a voting crowd. Hey, good evening.
Is this Freddie Kissoon show?
Yes, you're on to the show. Good evening.
Listen, so I was, I've been watching Freddie from since the inception, and I'm under the impression I don't know if him and Barajagio had issues in the past, but he rarely mentions Barajagio's name. Even the last when you guys were talking to Priya Manichan the other day, and she was lauding. She was giving praises to Barajagio. Freddie Kissoon shifts immediately to her finale. So was there ever a friction between Freddie and Barajagio in the past?
Okay, that's your question?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll answer it on air.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let me make a comment quick before Freddie answers. Now, people, you need to understand that how Guyana work there is proportional representation system. And what you are required to do, what parties are required to do, is provide a list of candidates. It does not mean that you have each person must have admiration for everybody on the list. It's the nature of our political system. If you are voting in the US, you are voting in a system called first past the post, and you got like a candidate to vote for him. Once you like a number of candidates on a list, or you like the policies of the entire list, you support the list, especially and in some cases, you support a particular group, subgroup of the list, and so on. So you don't have to have admiration for everybody on the list. For me personally, Jagdeo is the pinnacle of political strategy in Guyana, strategist. And I admire him for that. And that's the aspect of politics that I admire. And for that, I admire Jagdeo. Freddie may not have a similar admiration. So I don't think that's just my view, but Freddie can speak for himself.
Well, you answered the question that the man posed. We all have our people, our politicians that we perceive to be different. I mean, Mr. Jagdeo has been around a long time, and he has been an experienced person. In my long study of politicians in Guyana and the Caribbean and elsewhere, I find often Ali to be palpably and manifestly different in keeping with my understanding of power, my understanding of how leaders relate to people, and how leadership is shaped to win people's minds, and how you go about winning people's minds, hearts, and soul. And I think in that respect, I find Ali to be quite different from the post-independent leaders that were taking Jagger and Burnham, Green, Vipuduman Prasad, Boise Ramkaran, all of them. I think Ali has a unique touch about him that entices people to trust him. So it is because of my understanding of leadership, my study of leadership, I find Ali to be someone that you should push. You should push because his success will shape Guyana positively. That doesn't mean that there haven't been politicians the past 40, 50 years that have not been efficacious in their politics, in their activism. I tend to concentrate on Ali because I find him to be, in the Caribbean context and in the Guyanese context, to be a different leader. And I think it comes a time when an obscure person living in obscurity in relation to others and just waiting for that thing that is subterranean inside of them to break out. And the best example I can give is Brian Lara. I don't think there is any human on planet Earth that would say Brian Lara is not Mr. Cricket and Cricket is Brian Lara. I mean, he's just gone. But Brian Lara was fetching water as 12th man in a series. You got a call?
Mm-hmm. Hi there, good evening. Welcome to the
I just want to respond to that last caller in connection with not necessarily attacking Freddie.
Go right there.
Trying to right. Well, I'm gonna endorse that last caller.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna echo the sentiments of that last caller. Freddie might not like it. Freddie's friend, Freddie's my buddy. But Ali is a student of Barajandale. Online.
Okay, that's your comment. Thank you.
Yes, Mike.
Freddie?
Yes, so yeah, I was saying that there was a test series in which Brian Lara was not picked.
Mm-hmm.
He was the 12th man for that whole series. And when Lara was put on the world stage, that what was inside of him flowed, and it flowed permanently.
Yeah.
And now there is the Brian Lara genius that you talk about in cricket. Well, I thought that I kind of likened that situation to Irfan Ali. I mean, he was an obscure minister of housing. He was just an ordinary cabinet minister. And then Ali was put on the world stage. Ali was put on the Guyana stage. And he is shaping a legacy that I think is admirable. But more importantly, he's shaping a legacy. Go ahead. No. The call's a priority.
Hi there. Good evening. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Yes, good evening. I have a direct question. This is Freddie Kissoon. I'm a bit curious. Why was he thrown out of McMaster University? Yeah, that's a question that has been lingering on my mind for a long time.
All right.
So could you care to explain?
Thanks.
Yeah, don't go off the phone. Are you there? Well, in public life, you get all kinds of things, all kinds of rumors. It's followed me for the past 50-something years. I graduated with distinction from McMaster University. And then I won a scholarship. I competed globally for a scholarship to do my doctorate at the University of Toronto. I graduated with 5 awards and the President Medal from UG. And then I went on to a scholarship with McMaster and I graduated. He asked the question, I've answered it, but whoever told him that, maybe he's an anti-Kissoon person, but you have to live with that. Good. So let's continue.
You want to continue?
No.
Oh, okay.
We could. When I started, I was making the point about those people who crossed from PPP, from AFC to PNC, from PNC to PPP. And my problem is that they crossed too late, making it a problem for the particular party to accommodate them after the elections. It seems to my mind that three quintessential PNC persons that should be in Parliament will have to give way to the 3 persons that cross from AFC to the PNC. And then there are people who crossed over from the PNC to the PPP. And the nagging thing about me is why they should have done it before. It cuts out 2 things if they had done it before. It cuts out the talk of opportunism. You wait until an election is on and then you cross the floor. It cuts out that. And it cuts out the burden of the PNC and the PPP to find space for them that, in fact, may be a space competing with a quintessential PPP person. I don't know how the PPPs are going to accommodate those who just crossed 3 weeks ago and how the PNC is going to accommodate the just.
All right. My response to that, Freddie, is your argument is the pay your dues argument. You come to the party, you pay your dues, you spend some time around and you pay your dues, and then you get recognition. When I say recognition, I mean inclusion by the specific party. I hear you, and ideally, that is probably what should obtain. Call coming in. Hi there, good evening. Welcome to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Yes, I was trying to just call in and make a comment.
Yes, go right ahead, sir.
Am I on the show?
Yes, you're on. Go right ahead. Thank you.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I'm saying
go
to
on,
you.
sir, go
I'm
on.
saying to you, go on. You're on the show.
Oh, I would just want to make a comment about the last three calls that came in, right? I think those persons were trying to bring up an old history about Freddie Kissoon when he was at UG and was dismissed and I think Bart was president at the time. Now, this being election time, you will find a lot of people come in and being disruptors and trying to sidetrack, the show and them. So they were very, I think, professional in answering the question. And living in the past wouldn't get you forward. So if they keep asking what happened in the past with Freddie and Barrett, it's just going back to the past. In life, you have to move on in order to move forward.
Okay.
That's just my comment.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. So I was saying, there are several things to look at other than the fact that somebody just came over from the other party, and you are referring to people. You are separating people in two groups. You're saying there's a group of people who should have come or who came a few years ago, or a year ago, 2 years ago, and there are those others who, though they have left their party in their mind since 2 years ago, waited until an election to be announced then to come. That is your essential point. But when people come over, why there are other reasons why they should be included in the new party's outfit and apparatus. One, a person might represent something, a symbolism they might bring when they come. It don't mean that they bring votes specifically, but they might bring a symbolism. For example, you mentioned specifically 3 persons leaving AFC to go to APNU. APNU desperately needed diversity. East Indians, Amerindians that are up front and person and there. And with the 3 that moved to APNU, you've gotten so much diversity to add to the APNU outfit, right? In one swash, just like that. And remember, they come off of a situation where they were just collaborating. So that is just an example. I am not saying that that's the consideration for the PNC or APNU. That's not the consideration they may have had. But I'm just giving an example of symbolism. Similarly, in the PPP, one symbolism is that we are able to take, or we're able to, I don't want to use the term take, we're able to attract people who served at the senior level in your party and show the country that we have a big heart and we're able to use them. And we're using them for their talent, and we're using them for thing. I don't, let me be careful with the word use. Guyanese people got a meaning for the word use. Let me use the term utilize, right? So that is a symbolism in itself, and that may be one of the considerations the PPP would have. Good evening, caller. You're on to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Good night.
You got to tune your volume down, so we're hearing the previous call.
Turn down your TV, please. Hello? We'll have to take this first now.
So, tune down your smartphone or your TV because we're hearing the previous call coming through.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Go ahead now.
Good night, Mr. Kissoon and Mr. Greg.
Hey, good night, sir.
Yeah, I just called into something with our president, the best president we ever got, Dr. here for Ali. And I see the bridge, the Demerara Harbor Bridge, I feel that's the bridge should name after him.
Okay.
Here for Ali, Demerara Harbor Bridge, that should name after him.
All right.
Yeah, he's one of the best. I follow him this since one time to now. All and he did a lot for this country. With the housing thing and with all the roads that building and everything, he did a lot. He's doing a lot for the country and still doing. So I think that brings the name after him.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. You will make
Yeah, so I am saying that symbolism, as just an example, there could be other reasons, other considerations that parties will have, and the quintessential members who have given service and all that. My thing is, when it comes to service, good evening, you're on to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Yeah, good night. Hello?
Yes,
Hi,
good night,
evening.
sir. Go ahead.
You hearing me clear?
Yes,
Loud
yes.
and clear.
Okay. I would like to know who is the cabinet for Mr. Mohammed. I haven't seen his cabinet until now. His people then we pick for cabinet. And if you notice from Mr. Mohammed, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see the cabinet for Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah.
For his party.
Any other comment?
Yes. And if you notice when he go around to other people and go places, he don't speak. Although he speak about Jack Dale. That is all he speak. He not speak when he got plan for this country for nothing. He got no plan for nothing.
All right.
And you look at the Trinidad guy that question him. What the people them do, push himself in between. Because he know he could not answer those answers. He have no question for that. No answer for that. So the thing is, it show you right away. So he have no political knowledge in it. He have no experience for other country. It shows that right away that he have no experience. Because if he should be a president, how will he face the media? I don't know to speak.
All right.
He's not about politics.
Thanks.
But he's just doing this to try to see if he can get the PPP out of power. He can't get the PPP. And I'm telling you tonight again, Mr. Ferry, PPP is going to beat over 40 seats this round. That's my contribution. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. A quick comment. Let me just finish what I'm saying and see if I could get in a quick comment on what he mentioned. So I am saying in that understanding that politics and party politics is bigger than the individual, I think some quintessential, quote unquote, to use the term you use, party people, whether it's APNU or whether it is the PPP, would have to understand that some amount of dressing down would have to happen. That's one. It would be easier for the party that wins, and in this case, my estimation would be the PPP.
You got a call.
Because, hi, good evening. You're on to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Hey, good evening, Freddie. Leonard.
Right.
Is there a possibility that we can have an arrangement for a presidential debate with all these candidates?
Listen, when the party in government does not agree to a presidential debate, it's hard to pull it off. And the ruling party have said that there is no value for them in doing a debate. Because, for example, and let me just give you an example. The other caller just now talked about Mohammed. How are you debating Mohammed, for example? I look at most of his engagement with the public. He just talked about a little about his victimization, and he talked about how you're going to free up all the people, and basically that's all he's saying. I have not yet heard of a single policy, even copy a policy, for example, right? How you're debating somebody like that. And so I understand the ruling party's position. It's a position I support, at least up until now. But then again, you cannot then say we're having a presidential debate and we're just going to take these three parties and we debate among these three parties. It's 22 parties. I mean, so I see that point, and as it is right now,
but
I support.
There's another, you're still on the line, Saul?
Yes,
There's another aspect to it. Remember they say in life, you have to put yourself in someone else's shoe to understand. I mean, you're going to have a debate with millions. It's going to be millions because the diaspora outside there is about 1 million Guyanese. Then you have the Caribbean people. And you're going to give someone a platform for millions of people to look at that politically in Guyana have no traction.
Yeah.
I mean, the people who have more to gain from that debate are obscure people who are looking for some publicity.
Yeah. And if I am the larger parties, why would I want to provide such a platform, for somebody who their own household don't vote for them? You go to some of these presidential candidates, the district they're from, they get 3 votes, right? So, a debate in that sense is not valuable, and I support that view. What do you think?
Well, I was just trying to make a point that when you look at Azali Mohammed, he has nothing much to offer, and having him on a platform in front of all the other presidential
But there's another thing, Saul. You have to look at Irfan Ali's. You have to put yourself in Irfan Ali's shoes. How are you going to ask a man of that caliber, that is known, that put Guyana on the map, known in the Caribbean, and he is sitting next to Azzuddin Mohammed? Man, that's below the president's dignity, man. And he should not allow that.
Yes. Well, I agree with you at that point, yes.
Azzuddin Mohammed probably doesn't know what is CARICOM. It'd be interesting for us to engage him. I would like for him to come on the show and let's ask him about foreign policy. Let's ask him about CARICOM, the single market. Let's ask him about the which is the highest court in Guyana, and these kind of things. He should, I would like him to come on the show. I made a request to someone very, very close to him, and I was told he's not doing interviews until nomination day is over. So
wait and see. Tackle him afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, bye.
No, man, Leonard. You can't ask Dr. Irfan Ali to sit down in a debate with No, man.
And
something wrong there.
And the moment
I would advise the president.
And the moment, let's assume, the moment
I mean, Norton is out. Norton's been around a long time.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And the moment you say a debate between President Ali and Norton, all the other 20-something parties are going to start,
what's going to happen? AFC is going to say, why not? But everybody's going.
Exactly.
Everybody in Azuddin party is going to say, you know what? He might fight the man.
Right. So I think
So you have Ali and Norton, and then Mohammed is going to say, the fight me. Then want to come in debate. Then Nigel Hughes is going to say, well, this is how the PNC and the PPP is divided, Guyana. So let it be.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Right.
Because once you invite Nigel from AFC,
then why not Amanzo? Why not Brooms? Why not? Right. I can't remember some of the other names on the list.
Oh God, you're gonna see what's gonna happen on social media.
But
the
Freddie,
fighting Simona. Why they want put Simona?
But Freddie, I see a friend Rajenja Bissessar handing in his symbol.
You're gonna call me.
Hi there, good evening. You're on to the Freddie Kissoon Show.
Good evening. I enjoy your show, man.
Okay.
Freddie, you make a laugh just now. You can put Mr. Craig, good night.
Yeah,
you should know the number.
Good night, buddy. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Freddie, make a laugh just now. You can put Tarfan Ali to get exchange with Mohammed. Tarfan Ali more intelligent than that guy. Plain talk. This is plain talk. Mohammed had a visit somewhere in quarantine, and Mohammed called a guy and asked him who he get help from. The man said get help from both y'all. Mohammed tell the guy, Jagdio give the man taxpayers' money. If Mohammed become president, is that the same money? That taxpayers' money? Where the source going to come from? So if people really listen to this guy, he really fit to hold a position in this leading Caribbean country. Thank you.
All right.
Leonard, quick. Imagine in a debate with Terence Campbell. Campbell saying, look, the share out money in Buxton and the share out money in the Amsterdam where Africans are. Diabolical use of state resources. You giving money that belongs to the people of Guyana, the country. And Terence Campbell said that's a diabolical use of resources. But do you realize that Campbell got away with that? I mean, I don't understand why the PPP. Where are the school of PPP intellectuals to go after these guys?
I think, Freddie, it was wise not to respond to him. Here why? Because you were the only person who keep bringing this up. They vote in public, and those people in concern about that.
Hi, good night.
Hi, good evening, buddy.
Mr. Craig.
Hi,
my
buddy.
Contribution tonight.
Yeah, buddy.
My expectation for the 2025 September 4th general and regional election, I think the PPP would have outlined, I should say, the vision which, I analyze and assess government based on policies, not based on ethnicity and bias-started perceptions. So if you look at the PPPC vision for Guyana, they have a coherent vision for this country. On Mohammed, we continue to utter these distort narratives. Everything is centered around Jagdio and keep accusing. The people don't want to hear what Jagdio did and what and his sanctions, who is responsible. We want to know what is your vision for Guyana.
Yeah.
And if you can't put it in blueprint, me, an individual, has a rational mental faculty, I don't think I could support Mohammed, because I haven't seen a blueprint of your vision for the next 5 years. This is not a cake shop we're running. It's a country. Right. It's an economy that is built on visionary policies. You understand? With productive results. That is what grows domestic product. Right? It is calculated on productivity, not distorted narratives.
Right.
Our economy was about $5 billion US at nominal GDP in 2020. It is now around 26 billion US at nominal GDP. We have already overtook Jamaica. We have already overtook Trinidad by $2 billion. Our economy at purchasing power parity right now is the largest in CARICOM. You think that would have been, that was possible with baseless and baseless rhetoric and cheap talk, laced with intellectual this is my word, intellectualism, to make it sound important. Listen to the recent campaign, the launch of the APNU. I call them flapping because they don't flap. In 1999, the entire square of the revolution, the entire corridor there would have flooded with supporters. That is the show.
Why are you going so far back?
Because I'm 40 years old and I can tell you about 1992.
No, but even right at 2015, which is just the other day, that place when they had the campaign launch, it was flooded.
That is what I'm saying. Understood, right? But right. I'm saying, I even went back farther when they had more momentum.
Okay,
when Mr. Hyter, the whole streets full up. Right? Let me give you an example, right? I could recollect I was in Fort Farm at St. John's College in 1999, when that was shortly after the 1997 election. And I don't know if you guys could recollect when the PNC influenced the public sector employees to go on all-out strike to destabilize the government. I recollect that many days I went to school, only one teacher, 2 or 3 teachers in the school. I could recollect those days, brother. Right? If you look at the PPPC 23 years in government, I would have seen a country that came from the brink of collapse
in 97.
Economic solvency.
Oh, you mean, right. Okay.
Right? Because in 1992, look, I grew up in Buxton, but I went to live in Buxton in 1990. You know, we had a latrine with 3 holes at the school for the students.
Okay.
Till one time I went there and my bag fall in the latrine. Is in 1993 we get flush toilet at Buxton Primary.
And you collect back your bag?
I couldn't collect it when it fell in the pit.
So you lost your cell phone, went in the bag, you lost your cell phone.
No, you had no cell phone then.
We didn't have cell phone then, brother. Let me tell you the infrastructure of this country as I could recollect at 8 years old. Many streets in Georgetown had huge potholes. Most of the bridges on the East Coast over those trenches and canals.
But if he was going to use the toilet, you won't put on the bag. We carry the bag in the bag.
I was a child back then, my buddy.
You Freddie calling you clumsy.
We carry your bag. We carry your bag in the toilet for
back then.
Yeah.
Circumstances, we didn't have a flush toilet.
You could have left the bag on the ground.
Freddie,
Well,
stop teasing
there
me,
is
man.
a part of security, man. So as a child, you don't know you get your... It was just unfortunate that my bag had to fall into a pit.
My bag with the lunch bowl, everything, Freddie.
No. It's one of them little bag where you used to sling on your shoulder, man.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, brother. I've seen the dawn of a new era in this country, and I'm happy that God would have kept me this far to see what I'm seeing now. To be a living testimony.
Right.
To the transformation that this country would have gone through over the last 30 years, especially in the past 5 years. I know I used to go and catch board by prospect here. We go till along at the back where people used to plant a steady okra and all these cash crop till at the back. We used to go and catch board and thief mango. Those places is a semi-industrial site. You can tell me there's not evidence.
I hope you don't thief mango no more, you know. I hope you don't thief mango no more.
No, I don't think I'm a custom broker now, but I'm telling you that's my...
No, it's just joking. It's just a joke. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, thanks for sharing, buddy.
Night, brother. More like...
Yeah, man. Yeah, good.
I still can't understand if he's going to use the
Freddie left the
title
man
from the school. We doing with the letter bag.
No. See,
how it fall in the
No, that is my recollection of going to school. You got a latrine, and they used to use that 8-inch pipe to make a thing going right down.
I know all of that. I know all that. But
right. So when your bag fall in there,
we carrying the bag.
Your bag gotta get treasure for you to try to get.
We carrying the bag there for anyway. He couldn't recover that bag. You gotta call.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to the show.
A very good evening to you, sir. And I'm so glad that I can get through to this program.
Welcome.
Now, I know that we're in an election mood in Guyana.
Yeah.
However, it's two things about election. I don't care how many parties they have. Could have 100 parties and all, or 1,000. The truth about it is that the election is for a purpose. And that's what Guyanese people need to know. If you like what is going on for the past 5 years, you keep that government in power. If you don't like what is taking place, you have another 1,000 parties that you can select. However, as an electorate of this great country, you have to look at the circumstances. Don't look at the transformation. I know the gentleman is looking at transformation and development and etc. But there is something more dedicated to what you will be choosing for the next 5 years is our people. Security. Are our people better off 5 years ago? Or we need to make that change? Look at the economical crisis in our country. Look at our poor working class people. Development is not all in a country. Development is about the people. This government, fair enough, they have been doing tremendously good work from east, west, south, and north in Guyana. Not only educating people through internet services, but training skills for young people to learn, to be a part of the economical development. That is good. Very very much important. And that's big plus. But as I said, I come back to one thing again. The government today will have to take a shift on how they will be governing it for the next 5 years. Because our people need support. I can tell you this. The either start giving certain people who are working below a certain level of finances, food stamps, that they can be able to manage certain things at home. Very much important for our people. The either open the feeding program at school from the Guardian, from grade 1 to grade 5 or to grade 6, that every child that goes to school must have a meal.
Can I stop you there? That is what is happening right now.
Oh, that's well. You see, yeah. Forgive me, right? I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah. In the primary schools, from grade 1 to 6, all the students get.
No, I'm talking about the secondary levels and things like that. I'm talking about the schools right straight through.
Yeah, well, these things are progressive, you know.
Yeah. However, we must make substitutes as a government, as a people, etc. There are persons working real below the we call it
minimum wage.
Minimum wages of this country. We need persons to look into that.
Okay.
Right? We need persons to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go around and check and see. However, as I said, I am not pointing fingers to nobody, for this government and that government or whosoever. One more thing, and I go on my way. If you don't like what was happening for the past 5 years, you can change it. But if you like what is going on, the amount of housing scheme, the amount of development, hospitals and schools and whatever, law enforcement, whatever, you can keep the government in power.
Right.
That's my contribution, sir.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that you got to know what's going on in your country. I mean, he didn't know about the school feeding.
Yeah. Because what used to happen is that the school feeding program used to be just the lower classes in the primary school and I think the nursery. And based on feedback from parents, they've increased the age right up to the common entrance class. Good evening, sir. You're on the program.
Hey, good evening to you. How are you guys doing?
Splendid.
All right, I'm Mr. Kissoon. How are you doing?
Craig just said he knows how I'm doing. Splendid.
All right. Thank you so much. Anyway, I'm now tuning into you guys' program, but I'm not trying to follow it up, but I'm trying to just put a little bit out there. Actually, what happened, growing up in this country here, I'm from the 80s, so I'm a kid from the 80s. And I was looking at all the political stuff that's happening in our country. And I can see something very clearly. And I must say that living in this country and dealing with politics, we have to look at track records. Very, very important. Track records speak of itself. And where Guyana was to where it is, we all must be able to appreciate what's happening and the transformation that happened over the past couple of years, especially for the past 5 years. You know, I know a lot of people have their views, and everyone has their own opinion about governments and every single thing. But we must be able to take a little time to appreciate what Guyana has achieved over the past couple of years. And I'm not taking any sides or anything.
look at the track records that actually happening in our country with the political parties. Because everyone keeps saying about oil now. They're talking about oil for the past 5 years. That helped to transform Guyana. But we had a 28 years with the PNC. Then we had a 23 years with the PPP. We didn't have both oils. None of the two parties didn't have oil at that time. And I was able to say you can still talk about the track record as what we can achieve between the PPP and the PNC. Now, the thing is that what I want is for all Guyanese to
and right
look
now,
and say, you know what happened?
£50 per person.
The country has been changing. Every single thing. I mean, it's not perfect. But we must all see, you know what happened? Things are happening for us. I can tell you one thing clearly here. I don't think the Guyanese is whole is ready for transformation. Most of them. And I can tell you on a daily basis that I'm on the ground. I try to even hire people. People are not showing up to work in this place. And those are the people who are complaining about this country. They have a lot of job opening. Even if you don't want something that I would say that you don't appreciate, just take what you got and then you can be able to transform yourself into what you actually want. Right now, trade in this country here presently, right now, doing a trade or having a trade is very, very important. Whether it's carpenter, whether it's mason, you name it. You have jobs here. I try to hire people. People are not turning out to work, and these are the people who are keep complaining and keep arguing and saying, but this government and that government, but nobody is willing to be a part of the transformation as to what could take in place in Guyana. All right? So that is my contribution. I'm hoping that people can take this opportunity, jump on it. If you're looking, everyone wants to be a Dubai or anything, but the people itself play a part of the system to help develop the system. Right? And in this country here presently, many of opportunities been missed by everyone. The oil block out there is what helped to transform Guyana. We don't own a part or share of it. The government is the one who has to end up and provide that. Right? And this thing about sharing out money, I mean, whatever belongs to the Guyanese people should be there. But at the same time, we have to help ourselves as Guyanese. We have to work. At the end of the day, you go any part of this world, you have to work. No matter where you go to. I travel a lot, I can tell you. You don't show up to work, you can't eat. Whether the US, Canada, or anything. You have to show up to work. All right? And that's my whole contribution to this whole thing. All right? One more last point before I leave, right? I really appreciate you guys to end up and hold these programs that can able to educate people. All of us, what we have to do on a daily basis, everyone fighting as to who is who. But when the spotlight shine on the leaders, them, that is what counts. All right? That is what counts, because at the end of the day, right, is what they're actually doing, right? Look, for the past 5 years, we had 2 years hit with COVID. And where Guyana is for the past 3 years, I can tell you, it's going places. I leave this country and I came in back last 2 weeks, right? And people talking about Guyana, the place to visit, the place to invest, the place to come now. So this is our time. Please, I just asking everybody just to be, just to be a part of it as Guyanese.
All right. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you so much. Good. Bye.
Okay, guys, if you're looking at the show, this is our first call-in program for the month. We didn't have call-in program for about 3 or 4 weeks. So here you have Leonard Craig, the co-host of the Freddie Kissoon Show, hosting his first call-in program, and it's been going well. The WhatsApp number is 676-3681. You have anything you want that's on your mind, speak it. The phone rings.
Good evening, caller. You're on the show.
Evening.
Yeah.
Good evening, Freddie and guys. Sorry, yes, the caller that just mentioned my work, all right? What he said is true, because I'm a contractor. And you go and meet all these youngsters, then, majority of them, and ask them for work. And they will tell you, yes, they come into work and never come to work. They prefer that a Chinese store, a gamble place, and drink and smoke weed. That is it. The young generation don't want to work now. They don't want to work. You come, you check in Corrigan and see the amount of young people. They don't want to work. If they only kind of work and work half an hour, and money could come and go along the way. They don't want to. These people who cry out about work, about money and not a job. It's lazy people, very, very lazy. They're smoking. These people are drinking.
How you figure these people could be helped?
Let me be honest with you. Most of the people who are smoking drugs, I tell them, use them 18, 19, 20 years. But they're among them. When you ask them for work, they don't tell them plain they don't want to work. They force them, they want to hear money. They want to hear money. And if you tell them the money, they never fool them out. So they don't naturally don't want to work. Because, let me be honest with you, when you smoke this thing, because I have 2 weeks by you used to work with. And so uncle, you smoke this thing. And when you say work, you're hungry. And when you're hungry, you get weak. You don't even work. The system get weak. And the thing gets you like that. It doesn't matter they're not good human. They're good human beings. But they don't even work. They don't manage hard work. Remember, you have fresh cement, you got to push this, you got to push the wheelbarrow there. You have fresh block this side. They can make some work as a laborer. It's very hard. Let me tell you, I go through laborer and do labor work. I may tell you, it's very hard. And it's not something easy. You don't eat and go to work and buy some gum. You don't even have money to buy food. So when you go to work, then time that you know how you dumb, you're hungry, you're weak, your system get weak. But majority of them don't want to work. But I'm give complaint. The amount of we get the problem with work here in this Corrigan. We get the problem. Then contractor get problem with work, man. Then one day, 2 days, again, I didn't drink or smoke on there. You see, Monday, must check you majority of the work, don't come on Monday work. But don't come. You have a problem about it. That thing that next start construction over 10 years, you know, same exact thing with work. And then I still get the same problem with them. Getting worse now. And don't want to work. And if the government should bring in Arab laborers in this country, they're going to vex. They're going to say, oh, you're bringing foreigners and all of the old people don't want to work. They only want to smoke drugs. And I want to mention this here clearly. I mention it. The youth that are smoking, the police know everything about the youth, but I don't do this youth and nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you. Police know everything about these people who selling drugs and I don't do these people and nothing. In Corrigan, I'm talking Corrigan. Because them and the people is good friends. And they don't care what happens to you. You come and see some 12-year, 20-year children on smoke drugs.
I certainly got a problem.
What they gotta do, one of them pelt a knife for the mother. The mother give a complaint. He pelt a knife, 19 years only, and I rush him over by straight up his neck. Smoking drugs. The amount of pills and cocaine along this place. I don't know what the government is going to do to it. I understand that the president is trying his best. He put people there to protect people, like the police them. But these are the people, most of them, they're into the nonsense. I'm telling you, and I'm not calling names. I'm telling you, I know a policeman who's smoking drugs and who are acting nonsense. They don't care. They don't care how to harm you. I deal with a policeman the other day. Here, drinking beers in a bar with his uniform. Yes, but I'm not calling him because I'm working for the man, for the boss man. I'm a contractor, and the man carry out and with the uniform. And I said, if I video this man up, put this man up, I'm gonna send it bad. But this is the kind of people who's gonna cause a lot of slackness in this place. Yeah, the police are in uniform. Are you drinking beer? And that beer garden. Just always video you want, say bad. But it's not actually bad. They can go, I make governments look bad. Because they do the wrong thing. The government never tell them to do the wrong thing, they choose to do wrong. And I want to use this word again. Government never don't tell anybody to do wrong things. They are there to do their duty, they choose to do wrong.
All right, sir.
People choose to do wrong.
Okay, sir. Thanks for calling.
Whether it's small or big, they choose to do wrong.
Okay, sir. We got other calls coming too.
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay, I think you have a call there.
Goodie. I lost the call somewhere. All right. I'm listening to him and I'm wondering if
there isn't a problem with the way he's putting it over if he's not amplifying it. It's like if there's nobody in Cariverton that wants to work. All the youths are smoking. I know there's a problem. It will look like he's exaggerating. Anyway, you got a call here?
Hey, good evening. You're on the show.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, good evening. Our first female. Welcome.
Thank you, Freddie. Just a quick question. How many seats does a party have to get? How many votes a party has to get to win a seat? I know the last time was 5, but I thought it was a standard something. Now I'm hearing like 7.
All right.
No, it's not 7. It's 5,000.
No. 5, okay, let me explain. It's not a standard amount.
Okay.
It depends on the number of votes cast. So we got, follow me here. We got 65 seats in the National Assembly. And depending on the number of votes cast, you divide it by 65, and you will know the value of one seat. So from election to election, the number changes. Right? Sometimes they were 5,000 votes cast, another time is 4,000 and something, another time is 3,000 and something, whatever it is. You divide that by 65, and then you will know how much for one seat. And then you multiply it back by the number of votes each party gets.
Okay.
To know how many seats.
Understand.
Yeah, it's just over 5,000, but it's not standard as he explained.
Right.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I myself in my you got a call.
No, there's not.
I myself in my column keep saying 5,000, but it's basic that you divide 65 by it. So it could be 5,300. It could be 5,500.
It could be high in the 5,000s as well, depending on the voter turnout and all of that.
But there's something when the call come, you have to take it. I was doing my column today, my Ghana Chronicle column to go tomorrow. I was mentioning you got to get 33 seats to have a majority to win the government. But remember, Nigel said it's 34.
Well, actually,
who get 33 seats?
You can even no. The thing is though, I hear you.
It's 65 seats.
Yes.
Who get 33? Will they form the government?
Yes, but you can even form the government with 30 seats.
No. That's when you don't have that's when you don't have the plurality.
Right.
I'm talking about the normal plurality thing.
33.
Right. But why is it not 34? I mean, I ask you, why is it not 34? But we need to time is going, so the operator signal to us, time is going. So this is Leonard Craig's first call-in program. The WhatsApp number is 676-3681, as you could see it on your screen.
Yeah.
Call in and you tell us what's on your mind. Yes. Leonard.
You asked the question, why not 34? That calculation was something I never believed in. I could remember...
The calculation Nigel Hughes came up with?
Yeah, I never believed in it. And I thought that of all the arguments that they had at the time when they were going to court incessantly over and over, of all the arguments they had, I thought that was the weakest. The strongest point I thought they had at the time was that Charandas Prasad could not have voted the way he voted without telling the leader of the list that he disagrees with the list. And I think they should have invested more time into that aspect of it, because even when the Court of Appeal ruled that the number, and I was like, how how could they?
I think
I thought they should have used the Charandas
was one of the lowest moment.
Yeah.
That was one of the lowest moment in British Guyana and Guyanese politics, and by extension, Guyana's jurisprudence. I mean, how could you say? I think what people don't understand, I don't know if you'll agree with me. I think the key was, just tell me if you was following that area. I think the key was the word absolute. They were saying that to have a vote of no confidence, you have to have an absolute majority. And the Chancellor of the Judiciary held on to that and said it's not 33. But everyone should have erred. You have a call?
Hey, good evening. You're on to the show.
You have to lower.
Hey, please turn your volume down.
We're hearing the last call.
Please turn your volume down on the television. Yeah, go right ahead. Person hang up.
Yeah,
I think we should not take more calls because we just got 5 minutes left.
No, we got 10 minutes more. We got 10 minutes more.
Hey, good evening. You're on to the show.
Hi, I just forgive me. I don't normally do this to call back a program the second time. Could I I wanted to say something.
Go right ahead quickly.
Yeah, I would like to see the next government. I don't know which is the next government. Open an all-purpose factory in our country. When I mean all-purpose factory, it might sound complicated, but it is not complicated. Now,
okay, quickly, sir. Remember other callers coming in, and you called before.
There are a lot of tires, car tires that could be recycled. A lot of plastic can recycle. A lot of materials, raw materials we have in our country that has been very throwaway and parked somewhere. I would like to see the new government open an all-purpose factory that can utilize these raw materials that we have that can be beneficial to the people of this great country. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. You go ahead.
She said, the Chancellor, I think her emphasis was absolute. So she was saying that 33 can't be an absolute. And then she said 34. She agreed with 34. And that became esoteric. That became more confusing than even mysterious, because she just added 1 on to 33, and that became absolute for her. So the question is, why was 34 absolute and not 33? And why was 34 absolute and not 35? Now, if you want to say absolute denotes force, it denotes numbers, it denotes energy, absolute got to be somewhere around 38, 39. But she just add 1 more to 33 and said 34 is an absolute majority. And I think the Chancellor, in doing that, further muddy the water.
That is how I felt at the time, even though I was in the AFC at the time. I felt, as I said, that a lot more brain power, a lot more energy, a lot more strategy should have been invested in saying that the constitutional provision that says, if you no longer agree with your list, you should notify the speaker or the head of the list, right? And in so doing, you know, and I thought that should have made a greater, all your effort should have gone into that. But instead, most of the effort went into this 33, 34, and very little scant regard was paid to the other section. And I think that thing, because as I tell you many times on this program, that I couldn't possibly do what Charandas did, and I still don't. I understand why he did it. I understand where he was coming from. I understand why the PPP would encourage it. And I think I wrote that in my last column, that the PPP was sworn enemy, quote unquote, of the people in government, and they had to try everything to bring the government down. And I understand that collaboration with Charandas, totally get it. But I don't agree that for something to be operational in our constitution, it could only be operationalized by subterfuge. And that's the only way you have a majority in government and somebody on your side vote against the side they're on. The only way that could happen based on our constitutional structure is you got to use, and I don't think our constitution should be built so that a provision could be made possible by underhand means. I don't like it. And basically that's just me.
I think it hasn't been said, and it will never be said. I don't think it will be said even in close quarters. It will probably be said by people in the PPP leadership that are very, very tightly knitted group. I think that 34 decision by the Court of Appeal may have influenced the government in its position for the past 4 or 5 days in not agreeing to confirm the Chancellor. And by virtue of that, I think the Chief Justice has suffered. I think the Chief Justice is one of the world's most independent. I mean, when you think of that lady and how she gives decision, to think about these, we come up thinking about the British judges and European. That lady is class. That lady is a judge that is far more learned, erudite, and independent than any British judge. So I don't know why we're still in the Privy Council. But I think she has suffered confirmation because it's very, I think the powers that be find it very difficult to confirm a chancellor that really did no service to herself by saying 34 is a majority of 65.
My view on that would be this. I never understand this non-confirmation thing since back in Kar Singh days. I never understood it. Because the person occupies the seat anyway. Right? The Chancellor is there, the Chief Justice is there, the Chancellor is going to be acting until she retires. Mm-hmm. The Chief Justice could then be moved to become the Chancellor, because I think, if my memory serves me right, I think she's a bit younger. So I don't understand how Karl Singh was not
and he
confirmed, stayed in the job until he retired anyway. So, and he got all the perks of the position and all of that. So why not? Same thing with this Chinese guy. His name was Ian Chang. Why was Ian Chang never confirmed? It's something I struggle with all the time. It's something I struggle with.
Yeah, because right now the Chancellor is the Chancellor.
Is the Chancellor.
Whether you confirm
whether or not. You just talking acting.
If you confirm her, she stays
what makes it different
if you with her and because of
rulings and all of that, to me it won't change.
Because of a law passed during Ian Chang's time, they're getting the salary that they would have received anyway if they were
confirmed.
So
right.
That's
so it's something that bothers me all the time, and I would like to hear. You know what? I have never I've never sat and listened to the reasoning behind this from the people who should be making the confirmation. I've never heard at the time when Granger was president, and now I've never heard it really, explained.
Well, we gotta go. Our operator signal. We gotta go. We've got a few seconds left. If you want to call, you have to call now. You have a call.
Oh, you still? I would not have taken this one. Good evening, caller.
Good evening, Freddie.
Yeah, you got half a minute.
Yes, a quick question is, why is it that the government of Guyana and the politicians over there wants to stop Mohammed from using that Jaguar symbol? Is it
that the symbol was already confirmed? That is
it has been accepted now.
Yeah, so that
great, that's good news. Because,
that is
that was something that was blatant.
We gotta go. Anything else? You want to say anything else?
That's it. Thank you guys, man. You're doing a good job there. So take care.
Yeah.
Okay, what I normally do, Leno, I normally count from 1 to 10. And if between that 1 to 10 there's a call, we take it. When we reach 10, there's no call, our time is up. So I will call, I will do the... Oh, you got a call?
Yeah, there's a call, and this would be the last caller. Good evening, sir. You're on the show.
Hi, how are you?
We're good. Go right ahead, quickly.
Leonard Craig, nice to see you on the Monday call-in program. You're never there on a Friday.
Right.
And nice to see Freddie Kissoon. And Mr. Kissoon, now you were a political science lecturer at the University of Toronto, right?
No, I was a student. Of course, I did teach an assistant. You have to teach for your students.
Well, you're an assistant now. I would like to know if you and Mr. Craig could moderate a debate. But I know you said no, there shouldn't be any debates, but I think it'll be nice and it'll be wise to have a debate. You be the moderator, keep them honest, speaking the truth, and make sure they're corrupt-free. One of the things I'd like to see you do in touring these third parties is have a refresher course for them and let them know what it takes to become a president. Want to be president? Come to the Freddie Kissoon and Mr. Craig tutoring class. Let them know and let them educate them on the various ministries. I know Mr. Craig is an economist, and you can put your heads together and get something going there. And then that after they pass their programs, then they get to debate the PPP and the PNC.
We hear you.
But I think it's nice to have that debate.
Right.
You didn't ask. Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You didn't ask Craig why he can't. He's gone?
No, he's here.
No, I know why Craig can't come.
Why he can't come on Friday?
On Friday.
Why?
Well, he's a astute Seventh-day Adventist.
Right. He's a religious person. He's the opposite to me. I have no religion. Listen, I think we're gonna hold these call-in programs on Monday so we can have him. Thanks for being with us. Let's see if there's any one call. We take it very quickly. Is there one more?
Please tutor the third parties.
Yeah, sure. Take care, sir. Thanks for coming through. Is there any?
No.
Oh, well, okay. Thanks for being with us. We gotta go. What we're going to do, since Craig cannot make Friday evenings, we're gonna contemplate shifting the Friday calling to another day, maybe Mondays or Wednesdays. But this was Craig's first taste of the call-in. It did well. We started at 8:30 and the call didn't stop until 10 o'clock. Thanks for being with us. We have a guest for our Wednesday program. We have a guest for our Friday program. We'll probably have another call-in on Monday since Craig can't come on Friday. Anyway, listen, have a very, very pleasant CARICOM holiday, whatever's left of it, this Monday evening. Take good care of yourself. We will have the Freddie Kissoon Show. We will have Leonard Craig back on Wednesday with our guest. Catch you later. Bye-bye, man.